Welcome to Heal the World Show podcast, brought to you by the Healing Institute. I'm Parmelia Parham. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Healing Institute. We are a worldwide online hub of holistic practitioners. We really want to make a difference on health and healing in the world. And our practitioners are amazing. They really get to the root cause of what's going on with you. We've had this medical model for a few years, maybe over 50 years, that's kind of not working anymore. And I truly believe it's because we've only ever looked at symptoms. We haven't looked at the root cause, really what we need to get to. And I've been using holistic ways of being well for over 30 years. So I have personally know that it works very, very, very well. And I created the Healing Institute actually with the help of Carolyn Cooper, who's on today, the podcast today, because I really was inspired. And I really say I was divinely inspired to do something more global than more local. I have another company that's a very local company, and I was just really inspired to do something on a more global basis. And I truly believe we need to reach out to each other for that community. And the other reason, my why, I would say, was because we did have a tragedy in our family a number of years ago where my mom passed away at a very young age. She was only 61, and it was due to complications that she had because she'd been on a medication for a very long time. And not once did her doctor ever check her kidneys. But the side effect of being on this medication for a long time was that she went into kidney failure. And it was very unfortunate. It was right before Christmas. It was December 15th. I was 5 months pregnant with my son, my first child. And I just say it's a tragedy, not only that she died at a young age, but my children didn't get ever to meet their grandmother. And I really don't want that happening for other families because I know how important grandmothers are. So that is my why, and that's why every week we have this podcast called Heal the World Show podcast. And today, I've been doing this for nearly three years. Today is our 133rd episode. So we are going to celebrate with these wonderful, fabulous women that have come on to be part of our panel today. And just to explain a little bit more, that I have May actually is International Women's and Mental Health Month. But I decided that we were going to have women's health all month long on the podcast every Friday. And I know so many amazing women. I'm like, we're doing a panel. So we've been doing panels all month, and you're going to meet some fabulous, four more immediate fabulous women again today. So I want to introduce Carolyn Cooper, who's a visionary guide and transformational love-centered leader. Tippy Missick is a neurofitness educator. Dina Wolf is an holistic practitioner and coach. And her daughter, Jordan Wolf, is a breakthrough coach and belief code practitioner. So you are going to hear some really powerful information about that's what we're talking about today, about women's health. So, Carolyn, how would you like to go first?
I would love to go first. So, what I want to bring to the table here today is this extraordinary power that women have in their own lives to be a love inspired leader. And that we have this glorious opportunity to resource this light of love within us and impact every relationship that we enter. So the relationship with our family, with our business, with the communities that we serve. And I just journaled about this morning. And that is that the only way that we can be in this centered, grounded position and foundation of love is to release, dissolve anything that I call below the line, which is being decided to release doubt, fear, anger, resentment, blame, anything that really separates us from life and diminishes life and takes away from life. And to really make that decision to be decided to look at the truth, to focus on what matters most, and to be curious and open-minded, to find immediate solutions in anything that happens in life. And
I
I've
love
created,
that. I love
yeah,
that the curiosity. I just think that is so very important. When, because we are then we are open to receiving what answers we might get that we may have not thought of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've discovered, all of us are lifelong learners in this room right now, I will tell you, and we are hungry to learn more knowledge, wisdom, and be able to experience life in this way. And what I've discovered recently, that any amount of time that I contribute to below the line, it slows down any results, outcomes, or manifestation really in my greatest desires, my greatest dreams. So, and sometimes we just can't do this alone. And that's why all these people in this room here, including myself, are here to support you, to be accountable, to receive the tools, the strategies, the understanding, to keep moving forward, to put love in motion on a consistent basis. So I created a whole community for this now too, called the Aim High Sanctuary for Women in Business. And it's to look at truth, alignment, and radiance. 3 phases we go through. We have themes each month, and a whole community of women that are hungry to live their best lives. That's both personally and professionally. And it's love is always the answer.
Yes. Yeah.
Love
Great.
is the solution. And we know this, yet we just make decisions that are out of alignment with that. And it's very important to tell ourselves the truth about what is. And I think women are the most incredible beings to contribute to making this world better. And that's if you're a mom, if you are an aunt, if you are a sister, if you are a corporate leader, doesn't matter the roles that you take. This is a responsibility that we have to aim higher, to have that specific focus consistently, and watch the miracles and magic happen. Watch your energy become regulated. Watch you learn how to honor yourself. And once we have that inner clarity, that's when we become a magnet of presence and love-led leadership. And I also have a podcast called, Tiffy's been on my podcast, called Love Inspired Leadership. And I've interviewed incredible women from around the world that tell their story. And I'm inspired every time, every single time, because we're all brave, we're all courageous. We all have the same source there. And just know that you don't have to do it alone. There are people, there are communities that authentically care and are here to serve you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Yes, very well said. And you know, a word that I heard a few months ago was scaffolding, and I love that word because I think it really the definition of scaffolding is holding. And so as women, I truly believe we do that for each other. We really scaffold each other around whatever that woman needs.
Yeah.
So.
And, women have so much compassion for each other. And when you're in the right room, when you're in the right tribe, when you're in the right space, that's when you can be vulnerable. That's when you can look at the deeper levels and layers of truth. That's when you can make change. That's when you can transform your life. And we're all meant to live our best life. That's why we're here.
Amen. Love
Here,
it.
here.
Here, here. So Dina, I'm going to pop over to you. So tell us about your work as an integrative holistic practitioner and coach, the work that you do.
For sure, yeah. And I love everything that Carolyn is saying. It's so true. Um, I actually started my career in nursing, realized we don't really get to the root of anything. My
Mm,
mom had gotten really sick. She started passing out from blood pressure meds, getting anaphylaxis from her allergy shots, and so we needed we needed something that worked for her, and it wasn't in the picture of modern medicine. It just wasn't working well for her. And so that started our deep dive into holistics. And that's kind of how my path to becoming a holistic practitioner started. And we were able to get her off of 12 of her medications. She lost 67 pounds in 3.5 months. She has been off of those medications for more than 20 years, and she lives her best life. And we did that all. And the story of your mom is just so heartbreaking to me because that could have been my mom's story,
yeah.
and making those shifts and changes changed the whole trajectory of how my mom lives now. And she's 74. And all of this started when she was in her early 50s. And so, my kids got to grow up with the
Yeah.
best, grandma because we fixed her health, right?
Mhm.
And so I love, and Jordan and I partner together. She does the belief code. And so my background in nursing and everything that I've learned, and then going back to school for functional medicine, getting to the root and the core of why things happen, what's happening in the body, I've realized a lot of things are emotions that are just
Mm,
trapped. And so we
absolutely.
we get to the root of what those are, and like when did you make that decision, to stuff that anger in the hip? Or when did you make that decision to put your shame in your stomach? Just things like that. And then we dial that back. We look at the compensatory mechanisms of the body, and then we dial those back, and we see these just absolute amazing shifts happen, and women are able to lose weight. Most of the time they come in because they want to lose weight. Yeah, like that's their core thing is like, I just want to lose weight. I've tried, a jillion different things. I eat clean. I'm already doing everything the world tells me to do, and nothing is working. And so, we get to that emotional
Well, and
component.
there's so many things that happen when you do have extra weight. My mom
Yeah.
struggled her whole life with being not overly overweight, but enough that she was, going to different companies to learn how to control her weight. And a lot of it was, and I know it was because I knew what was going on in her life and what had happened previously was emotions. It was all emotions, and because of her weight gain, then that's when she was told to go on the high blood pressure medication, and then never came off it.
Mm,
So, I
yeah.
mean, I think we are now a little more tuned in. I hope we are to asking questions and being curious. And when something's not quite going right with you in your body, I always tell people, listen to your body. Your body, if your body is talking to you, your body is telling you something's not quite right. So listen to what your body has to say. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love the fact that as a mom and daughter, you get to work together. That's fabulous. So Jordan, tell us a little bit more about your journey and how it came about for you to be in Belief Code and Belief Code practitioner. And as I am also a Body Code and Emotion Code practitioner, so the Belief Code is kind of the next step I'm looking into as well.
Yeah, I love the belief code. I feel like it's like taking down like just absolute mountains. Like, like sometimes you come in contact with a mountain and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to overcome this. And it's like, you just start cruising through all of those. So, I'm really fortunate to have a mom who went through like what you went through, so we didn't have to go through any of that stuff, which I'm really super appreciative of. So I just grew up like very holistic. Like we didn't take Tylenol when we got headaches when we were kids. Like, we there was always like the alternative routes, which was awesome because like, I grew up and people would be like, yeah, like you have a headache, why don't you take some ibuprofen? And I'd be like, I don't know what that does. Like, you know what I mean? Like to
Mhm.
that extent. And so naturally I kind of fell into what I do because I saw what she does and I had gotten into the emotion and body code, saw such significant results from that, and I just wanted more. I was hungry, like Carolyn said earlier. Like I just wanted more. And kind of seeing like what she's been doing, and knowing what I knew from what I learned in Belief Code, it was awesome to be able to partner together because
Mhm.
I saw so many women have underlying beliefs, which just to be
Mhm.
honest, it's
Yeah.
just really lies that they were telling themselves that was keeping them from accelerating forward and becoming an overcomer and getting to the goals that they desired, all based off of one lie. And you take your childhood brain into your adult life. And so without reprogramming that stuff, you hold on to it for years and
Yeah.
years, and then you have so much protective layers after layer after layer, and you have to start breaking down those walls to get your results. And so um, that's kind of where we got my start, was really just being inspired by what she was doing and being like, well, how can I help the people that you're helping get results quicker and faster,
Hmm.
by really just dealing with the emotional and belief component of everything they've been telling themselves. Because at the end of the day, your words are life and death, right?
Yeah.
And if you say I'm never going to get anywhere, that is your truth,
Yeah.
And so we have to kind of
Or
start
I'm
breaking.
unworthy, or I'm not,
Yeah.
this always bad things always happen to me. Those kind of negative phrases that always um, that pop into our heads
Mhm.
because we've been conditioned to understand those. And I know you were talking about what beliefs people have, but society also puts a lot of beliefs on us that
Oh, sure.
I truly believe at some point in time in our life we have to go, that doesn't fit for me anymore. Carolyn, you
Same
have something
too.
you want
I
to
just
say?
That's
I just love the fact that you're talking about truth too, is what we
Mhm.
think is the truth. There's always a deeper level of truth
Yeah.
underneath that truth. And that, when you see the miraculous transformation in people's lives, Dina and Jordan, that's so incredible that people can receive that kind of guidance and support from both of you. And it's a fact. So the audience, I just want them to realize, who's listening right now, that it is the truth in what they're saying here. That is your possibility, and that is your opportunity, and that is fact. So I just wanted to just deposit that piece in this.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Tippy, tell us about you and the work that you do. I know, having chatted with you before and having had you on the podcast before, and having you and your wonderful husband, I see the picture of him on the wall, Ron, being on the podcast talking about his journey. So tell us about the work that you're doing right now.
Well, I feel so honored to be a part of this podcast, especially with the three women that are ahead of me. And when I was listening to them, all I could think of is, as a neurofitness practitioner, I work with young children all the way up to adults, but most importantly, young children turn into these adults. So I take particular interest in the little girls because I want them to grow up with a positive outlook, to know that they're worthy, to know that the truth is that they can be whatever they want to be or whomever they want to be. And so I start with the kids at about 6 years old. But the unique thing about what I do is I use fitness and coloring and music and different techniques that help each individual child blossom so that they carry that into their adulthood, and then they can share that to with their children and grandchildren. So it's a cycle that, women health, excuse me, in women's health, we have to grow and raise healthy
Mhm.
children in order to be healthy adults. So it's such an honor for me to be able to do that with these beautiful, beautiful children every day.
And tell us again the phrase that you use when you talk about these amazing children.
Oh, I just love them. And I can't help but call them uniquely wired, because each and every one of these children have what other people believe as deficits, but what I see as true gifts and talents that just need to be shared. And the reason that I'm so passionate about it, because I grew up as one of those uniquely wired children, and now I have the opportunity to be able to share what I learned or what I didn't learn growing up to help them get through trials. And there's nothing more incredible than seeing a child sit, a young girl sit by herself with her hair covering her face, dealing with autism and ADHD, who comes to life when I walk in the room and sits with me and does music and singing and smiling. And it's going to take this girl so much further into her future when she becomes a woman. And I feel honored to be a part of that journey.
And to see the joy that, children have and adults have as well. So, for many years we've kind of put labels on people, right? We've put labels, neurodiverse, autistic, and I love that you are so turning that around, Tippy, and to be, because we all are unique. We're all
Mhm.
very unique, regardless of what our talents are, what our strengths are. We're all very, very unique human beings. And so to really give that positive description of children who have different brains and don't, and I'm not sure that we've, of all five of us here, in the Hollywood Squares or in on the podcast today, I'm sure we all learn differently. I always learned very differently. I had to do to learn. And so in school, I had a very hard time. I wasn't a good student. Well, good from the point of view of being able to get high grades and pass and also, do that because I wasn't taught how I learn. So at least I think we've come a long way since then. We do understand there are different learning styles and that people have different learning styles. And I just think it's even more, wonderful for us to now look at people and children as giving them that information and giving them that confidence. Um, so that they can grow into who they need to be. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to see that happen with these children, because in just the short time I've been working with them, which is about 4 months, I have seen their confidence and their ability to communicate and want to be among the other children. And as they grow into themselves with this type of attitude and understanding, they are going to be powerful, powerful, healthy women for
Yeah,
sure.
beautiful. I love that. Carolyn.
I just want to add one thing, and it's so beautiful. I was picturing as you were speaking, and I think we all were. We had this vision and this image of you walking in that room, and it's pure acceptance. It's just so beautiful, and I think that's what every woman has an opportunity of radiating, that beautiful love of pure acceptance. That's to children, that's to our family, that's in every moment. And
To
so
ourselves as well.
exactly, it's like learning to really honor that acceptance and live it consistently. And I just think it's absolutely magnificent. And I love that it was your you know challenge or obstacle growing up, and now you've turned that gift, that pain, into a beautiful, beautiful, meaningful, sacred gift to give these people. And I just Tippy is really inspiring.
Honestly, I just feel very blessed. As
Yes.
difficult as I thought it was growing up, to now be able to radiate and to
Mhm.
shine and to love on these children more than they receive at home, truthfully, is just such a blessing. I love walking through the door to the school. I get bombarded with the kids. They get so excited and they just want to hug me and they want to love on me and they just want to spend every minute with me because I'm really just a little kid inside.
Beautiful.
Because you exude that joy and love and fun and happiness.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the only way to go. Only way to go.
absolutely. Absolutely. Dina, anything else you would like to talk about or add or comment?
No, I mean, it's just such a blessing to be here today. Jordan and I were just at a card party, and it was a lot of uniquely wired individuals who had become adults, in an adult like daycare. And it was so cool to connect with them, and they were looking at her tattoo and like, what, are you going to put color in your tattoo? And asking these just really awesome questions. And I thought, oh my gosh, you are so adorable. And I just love your heart. And they all wanted to come and hug and, just show their love. And I just thought, oh my goodness, like I could hang out here all day,
Yeah,
because there's
yeah,
just so much love in the room. So
yeah.
I
Beautiful.
absolutely adore what you're doing. And it is so needed, so needed.
Thank you.
Jordan, anything else you would like to add? We want to see
And
your
just
tattoo, first of all.
oh, it was like I don't know how to let's see.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Um,
I
I
have
think
one
just
on my shoulder. It's my children's name.
oh fun. I was like, these are my it's my family's favorite flowers.
Mhm.
Ah, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So I take them with me everywhere. But
Yes.
I think just to add on top of what you said and Tippy, like what you're doing, it is so needed. It really, they're people too, and they have so much value and so much life to them. And honestly, like being in the room in the card party, like they were putting stickers on the cards and like it gives them such purpose and such fulfillment and the joy seeing what they're doing is absolutely incredible. And I think it really humbles you, right? To just have so much gratitude in your heart for, your life and how you can be a blessing to those kids, right? And I agree, they were so adorable. I was like, oh my gosh, like they're just so filled with joy.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes you look at adults and you're like, where did your joy go? Like, how
Yes.
did we get so
Yes.
far down to where, like, when you're a kid, you get so excited and stuff like that. And so, honestly, I love what all of you guys are doing, and it is a blessing to be here. And there's just so much encouragement and love in this room right here, and it radiates. So I'm very grateful.
Love it.
I agree.
Me too.
Me too.
So thank you, all of you. Carolyn, Tippy, Dina, Jordan, thank you so much for being part of the podcast today. The Healing Institute, we have a vision. We really want to create a community of health practitioners who really want to give and really want to see out into the world, not, I mean, obviously we all have our own businesses that we do locally, but it's so important for us to be spreading what we do out into the world globally. So we do have this vision, and we have amazing holistic practitioners on the platform that people can connect with. Everyone has a 30-minute complimentary consultation, so you can get to know them and have a chat with them, find out. And what exactly your needs are. They'll find out from you. And we call ourselves a international wellness community because we are a community. We're more than just a directory. We all get to know each other. We do one-on-ones with each other so that when a client might come to the Healing Institute website and choose one of us, and if we're not a good fit, then we can refer any of the other people that are on the platform to that person. So that's why we call ourselves a community. And our motto is service with love. I think, we as you were talking about the children hugging, I'm thinking we should start when we're in person, we should start every meeting with a hug.
Right?
Oh,
I agree 1,000%.
absolutely.
Super healing.
I usually
The
say
most
that I'm
wonderful.
hug
Oh, I'm sorry.
deficient.
Sorry, say
Well,
that
the
again,
most-
Tippy.
I
was gonna
sometimes
say-
say I'm hug deficient. I'm low
Hug
on
deficient,
my
yes,
quota.
Yes.
Yes, true,
And
very
it's
true.
the most wonderful feeling,
Mhm.
just transferring that peace and love
Yeah.
and blessings from one to another.
Beautiful,
Beautiful.
beautiful. So we do have a big ask. Please let all of your community know, your family, your friends, your colleagues about the Healing Institute and what we're doing here in the world. And I'm just so blessed and delighted to have Dina and Jordan and Tippy and Carolyn as part of the podcast today. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. We appreciate
Thank
you
you,
too.
Camelia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.